Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Plants, Crochet Cooking and More. Diwali is one such festival which I love the most. Diwali symbolizes victory of light over darkness. It symbolizes good over evil and knowledge over ignorance. So let us celebrate the festival of light. This Diwali I have made a favorite dish of our house, Karanji. I make it quite often, but Diwali is a must for this sweet dish. This is actually a Maharashtrian dish, so come let's start making it. You can also make this not only just for Diwali but for any other occasion. Now let me show you how I've done this. I've taken maida and into this I've added ghee, salt and then started to mix this up. The whole trick in this crunchy Karanji is that it is to be mixed very well. And another thing I forgot to tell you is that I always bake the Karanjis. I don't fry them. They are actually deep fried, but I prefer the baked version of it. While making gujiyas, that is during the holy time that I make gujiyas, I fry those. But Karanji I prefer to make it baked. There is no particular difference in the taste, but just that if you bake it, it is more healthier. There is less of oil in it. So let's get on to the recipe. See, I'm mixing it very well. We will be mixing this till the time you don't bring this into a ball. If you take a certain amount of it into your hands and just hold it tight, it will form a solid mass. So this is the time you'll know that, okay, your mixing is perfect. Now you add water into it. I've taken half a cup of water, but you don't need half a cup. So add very little at a time and then start mixing it. You don't want a very loose kind of dough, not a very loose or a soft kind of dough. In that case, what happens if you fry this Karanjis, what will happen is that if the dough is very soft, the Karanjis will also turn out to be soft. But you want them to be crunchy. So you add little water at a time and make a dough which is not very hard and not very soft. Let me show you how much water was left behind from the half cup. See, so I have not used the entire water. Give it a good knead again so that it forms a good pliable dough. And then you keep it aside, cover it and keep it aside. You can cover it with a wet towel also. I've just covered it with one thali. Now while I do this, while that is resting a while, I will get on with the other ingredients. This is the coconut that I have grated. I have used almonds, cashew nuts and raisins and powdered sugar and cardamom powder and the nutmeg powder. Nutmeg powder is optional, you need not add, and a tablespoon of sesame seed, that is a til seed. We'll take a pan and just 1 teaspoon of ghee, and then first we are going to start roasting the coconut, grated coconut. You roast this coconut. This is a little above half a cup, you can say 3/4 cup of coconut. Though the ingredients list is given at the end of the video, you can check that out later. Now on a low to medium flame, I'll start roasting this. I have to keep roasting till it changes its color and liberates a beautiful aroma. I love this. Even while making naru, that is another Bengali treat. Narus are made. In that too, this coconut is roasted in this way. And the aroma that the coconut liberates while roasting it is really awesome. Let us know how many of you love this aroma. Now while I'm frying this one, roasting it in this little ghee that I've taken, I have to keep a check so that it does not burn on the underside. So constant stirring is necessary at this point. When this is done, what you will do is you will remove this coconut and keep it separately. And then the next step will be to fry the til, that is the sesame seeds. But here again, what I've done is I've just taken the coconut to the other side, and then little bit of ghee I added to the surface, which is where there is no coconut, and then I added the sesame seed into it. Roasted that too a little bit, it will pop up, so be careful. And then finally I've mixed both these, but you have to be very careful if you want to do it this way. it is better that you remove the coconut and then do the til seeds. If you try this, then you have to be careful, because at this point the coconut will tend to burn very easily and quickly. Then you switch off the flame, mix everything together and remove it into a container. This needs to cool down completely. So meanwhile, what we can do is we can chop the nuts. Chop it into small pieces, or you can just put it into a grinder and just grind it once. Just remember not to make a fine powder out of it. You can even chop the raisins if you want to. So here we have finished chopping the almond, cashew and raisins, that is katbadam, kaju and kishmish. Now let me check whether this has cooled a little. It has cooled a little but not completely. So let me just add the dry fruits into it. Mix it, and then into this I am going to add the spice powder, that is the cardamom powder and the nutmeg. Now remember, nutmeg is optional. I'll give it a mix. It hasn't cooled completely. I'm not going to add the sugar at this moment, so let it cool down further. Meanwhile, we'll give the dough a knead once again and then break it into two pieces. Keep the one half separately covered and make a ball out of the other one. Around 8 balls can be made with this half and 8 balls with the other half. The balls need not be exact, because after you put it in the mold, you are going to remove the excess. That will help to form another ball again. Keep all these balls covered and we'll get on to the mixture again. Now it has cooled completely. This is the time when I'm going to add the sugar into it. Measurements are all given at the end of the video, so you need not worry about it. Now give it a good mix. If there are small lumps in the powdered sugar, you can break it up with the spoon itself, or you can use your hand. Break it into a powder form again. When this mixing is done, then we'll start rolling out the balls. You all know how to make, roll out chapatis. This is the same way. You'll roll out small chapatis with that ball. Let me show you the thickness. Now I'm going to take the mold and then place, this is an aluminium mold. I'm going to place this rolled out chapati into it. Just fold this mold a little, don't keep it flat completely. Just fold it a little bit and then place the filling into it. Give a good amount of filling, but see that the filling doesn't come out to the sides, because that is the place where you're going to seal it. Now for sealing, I'm just going to apply water, the plain water, onto the edges. Next, this is to be folded, the mold is to be closed and then pressed tightly. The excess can be removed with a hand, or you can just scrape it off with a knife. Very slowly you open it. It's just like opening an oyster shell, and then the beautiful Karanji is formed. You can even use, if you don't have a mold, you can use a fork to give the design on the sides. Now I'm lining a baking tray with parchment paper. I have started to preheat the oven for 10 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, and when these Karanjis are ready, I'm going to place it on the baking tray and give it a milk wash. You can, other days what I do is that I give egg wash on top of it, but since this is for Diwali, I have decided to give the milk wash. Now I'm going to bake it. When it is ready, I'm going to bake it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius itself for, I have baked it for 15 minutes on one side, and then I've turned it and baked it for 15 minutes on the other side. That way you'll get a little bit of color on the sides. Let me know if you have tried it, how it turned out. It is a very crispy kind of treat which you will love this Diwali. Do give it a try. Ingredients list is here. And once again, a very happy Diwali to all of you. May you all be blessed with good health and prosperity in abundance.